Welcome to the session on ICT and distance education. Distance education or distance learning is a field of education that focuses on the pedagogy, technology and instructional systems design that aim to deliver education to students who are not physically on site. Rather than attending courses in person, teachers and students may communicate at times of their own, choosing by exchanging printed or electronic media or through technology that allows them to communicate in real time and through other online ways. Distance education courses that require a physical on-site presence for any reason, including the taking of examinations, is considered to be a hybrid or blended course of study. Distance education dates back to at least as early as 1728 when an advertisement in the Boston Gazette, Caleb Phillips, teacher of the new method of shorthand, was seeking students for lessons to be sent weekly. Modern distance education has been practiced at least since Isaac Pitman taught shorthand in Great Britain via correspondence in the 1840s. The development of the postal service in the 19th century led to the growth of commercial correspondence colleges with nationwide reach. The University of London was the first university to offer distance learning degrees, establishing its external program in 1858. The Society to Encourage Studies at Home was founded in 1873 in Boston, Massachusetts. In Australia, the University of Queensland established its Department of Correspondence Studies in 1911. Another pioneering institution was the University of South Africa, which has been offering correspondence education courses since 1946. In New Zealand, university-level distance education or extramural study began in 1960 at Massey University. The largest distance education university in the United Kingdom is the Open University, founded in 1969. In Germany, the Fernuniversität in Hagen was founded in 1974. There are now many similar institutions around the world, often with the name Open University, and more than a dozen of them have grown to become mega universities, a term coined to denote institutions with more than 100,000 students. Charles Wedemeyer of the University of Wisconsin at Madison is considered as the father of modern distance education in America. From 1964 to 1968, the Carnegie Foundation funded Wedemeyer's articulated instructional media project, AIM, which brought in a variety of communications technologies aimed at providing learning to an off-campus population. According to Moore's recounting, AIM impressed the British, who imported these ideas and used them to create the first Open University, now called United Kingdom Open University, UKOU, to distinguish it from other open universities which have emerged. UKOU was established in the late 1960s and used television and radio as its primary delivery methodologies, thus placing it in the forefront of applying emerging technologies to learning. It is fair to say that all open universities use distance education technologies as delivery methodologies. There are many private and public, non-profit and for-profit institutions offering courses and degree programs through distance education. Levels of accreditation vary. Some institutions offering distance education in the United States have received little outside oversight, and some may be fraudulent diploma mills. In many other jurisdictions, an institution may not use the term university without accreditation and authorization, normally by the national government. Online education is rapidly increasing among mainstream universities in the United States, where online doctoral programs have been developed at prestigious research institutions. In the 20th century, Radio, television, and the internet have all been used to further distance education. Computers and the internet have made distance learning distribution easier and faster. Private and for-profit Phoenix University, which is primarily an online university, now has 200,000 students and expects to serve 500,000 by 2010, yet little is known about student success or lack of success in such a fast-growing institution. In 2006, the Slogan Consortium reported that more than 96% of the largest colleges and universities in the United States offered online courses and that almost 3.2 million US students were taking at least one online course during the fall 2005 term. One of Canada's leading distance education providers is Open Learning Through All of Thompson Rivers University. True all educational goals are obtainable for anyone through accessible and varied courses that can be taken anytime and at an individually determined pace. With over 400 individual courses and more than 57 programs available for completion by distance and online learning, students can take a variety of programs such as adult secondary school completion, certificates and diplomas, including advanced and post-baccalaureate associate degrees and bachelor's degrees. In Ontario, Canada, the Ministry of Training, colleges and universities established the EarlerNetwork.ca in 2007 to provide access to students in small and rural communities across Ontario who wanted to pursue college or university courses from their community by distance education. In the province of Manitoba, the Department of Education, Citizenship and Youth provides 3 options in distance education: independent study option, teacher-mediated option, and web-based course option. The independent study option ISO provides the opportunity and flexibility for both school-age and adult learners to study a wide range of compulsory optional print-based distance education courses from grades 7 to 12. This form of education also provides students with support by email or phone. The independent study option also offers several courses in French. In the event that a student leaves the province on a temporary or permanent basis, the ISO also provides the opportunity for continuing the study of Manitoba curriculum en route to receiving a senior year's graduation diploma. Teacher-mediated option TMO. This supports the delivery of distance learning courses that are scheduled within the school day and use a variety of technologies to assist students, including instruction twice a school cycle for 40 minutes per class by audio teleconference, recording of classes as required for use up to 5 days after the class has occurred, and corresponding with an instructor between classes by email or phone. These courses are only available to students attending school or an adult learning center. Web-based courses in Manitoba are available to students and to schools wishing to deliver high school courses on the internet. While being delivered through the internet, these courses are taught by a teacher who may be off-site. Assignments are submitted online by students to teachers and a final examination is written on site. Technologies used in delivery. The types of available technologies used in distance education are divided into 2 groups: synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous technology is a mode of online delivery where all participants are present at the same time. It requires a timetable to be organized. Synchronous technologies include phone, video conferencing, and web conferencing. Asynchronous technology is a mode of online delivery where participants access course materials on their own schedule. Students are not required to be together at the same time. Asynchronous technologies are audio cassettes, email, message board forums, social learning websites, print materials, voicemail or fax, video cassettes, etc. There are also learning management systems or learning management content systems which can be used for both synchronous and asynchronous learning. The various types of distance education courses include correspondence conducted through regular mail, internet conducted either synchronously or asynchronously, telecourse or broadcast in which content is delivered via radio or television, CD-ROM in which the student interacts with computer content stored on a CD-ROM, pocket PC or mobile learning where the student accesses course content stored on a mobile device or through a wireless server. Integrated distance learning, the integration of live in-group instruction or interaction with a distance learning curriculum. Distance education has traversed 4 to 5 generations of technology in its history. These are print, audio-video broadcasting, audio-video teleconferencing, computer-aided instruction, e-learning or online learning, computer broadcasting or webcasting, etc. Yet, the radio remains a very viable form, especially in the developing nations because of its reach. In India, the FM channel is very popular and is being used by universities to broadcast educational programs of variety on areas such as teacher education, rural development, programs in agriculture for farmers, science education, creative writing, mass communication, in addition to traditional courses in liberal arts, science and business administration. The increasing popularity of MP3 players and smartphone has provided an additional medium for the distribution of distance education content, and some professors now allow students to listen or even watch video of a course as a podcast. Testing and evaluation. Distance education has long had trouble with testing. The delivery of testing materials is fairly straightforward, which makes sure it is available to the student and he or she can read it at their leisure. The problem arises when the student is required to complete assignments and testing. Online courses have had difficulty controlling cheating in quizzes, tests or examinations because of the lack of teacher control. In a classroom situation, a teacher can monitor students and visually uphold a level of integrity consistent with an institution's reputation. However, with distance education, the student can be removed from supervision completely. Some schools address integrity issues concerning testing by requiring students to take examinations in a controlled setting. Assignments have adapted by becoming larger, longer and more thorough so as to test for knowledge by forcing the student to research on the subject and prove that they have done the work. Quizzes are a popular form of testing knowledge, and many courses go by the honor system regarding cheating. Even if the student is checking questions in the textbook or online, there may be an enforced time limit, or the quiz may be worth so little in the overall mark that it becomes inconsequential. Exams and bigger tests may be harder to regulate. Used in combination with invigilators, a pre-arranged supervisor trusted with overseeing big tests and examinations may be used to increase security. Many midterm and final examinations are held at a common location so that professors can supervise directly. When the internet became a popular medium for distance education, many websites were founded offering secure exam software and packages to help professors manage their students more effectively. Transforming distance education, role of MOOCs. India, the largest democratic world and third in population in the international scenario, is full of energetic and technologically talented young minds that enroll for education each year. The status and enrollment ratio of students admitted for education is so alarming and is growing at rapid pace. The state and central governments are coming up with innovative tactics to meet the educational demands of the country, but still the country has not reached the aim where it was aiming at. In this context and today's technological revolutionary world, one of the scopes is to make use of technical devices that removes much of the barriers like economy, access and cutting costs of education. Here comes the relevance of massive open online courses, MOOCs, for education in a developing country like India. Each letter of the short form MOOCs are highly meaningful and suits the education system of a country like India. Massive refers to the non-restriction in the enrollment of learners to various courses. Open implies the openness, that is, any person can join. Online denotes the platform on which the courses are operated, and course indicate the learner-centered nature of the course that are being offered as MOOCs. Do India able to provide access and quality education to the millions of youths aspiring innovative, skill job-oriented higher education degrees? The answer to such a potential question would definitely be no. A close analysis of the long decade educational system followed after Indian independence would compel us to say India won't be able to satisfy the educational needs of the creative young aspirants. Why is it so? The major few concerns that bring dark image to Indian higher education are access, quality and cost. Since Indian population is increasing, one can say that the country may fail in providing access to education, especially higher education. Similar situations prevail in maintaining quality of education. Thirdly, the cost of education per student is so high that many of the students cannot dream of it. In this context, MOOC have big role in transforming Indian education. MOOCs are free online courses accessible across the world via internet, irrespective of the background, social and economic status of the aspirants. The quality of courses, less cost per student and non-rigidity in admissions make MOOCs attractive to the people. Since thousands of students can join at the same time, it is available via internet, and the openness nature of the programs bring people close to MOOCs. A country like India has countless number of advantages if they implement MOOCs as a supplement to the traditional educational programs. Open and Distance Learning, ODL. Open and distance learning is a field of education that focuses on the pedagogy, technology and instructional systems designed that aim to deliver education to students who are not physically on site. Rather than attending courses in person, teachers and students may communicate at times of their own choosing by exchanging printed or electronic media, or through technology that allows them to communicate in real time and through other online ways. Distance education courses that require a physical on-site presence for any reason, including the taking of examination, is considered to be a hybrid or blended course of study. Distance education institutions may either assume a leadership role in the transformation of education or be left behind in the swirl of rapid technological change. The critical factor in the successful integration of ICT into distance education is the extent to which the learners have the knowledge and skills in ICT integration. A well-conceived and sustained program of professional development is therefore required to enable the teacher and learners to develop these skills. There are endless possibilities with the integration of ICT in the education system. The use of ICT in education not only improves classroom teaching learning process but also provides the facility of e-learning. E-learning has rendered convenience of online learning to thousands of learners who cannot avail the benefits of education due to several reasons. ICT has enhanced distance learning. The teaching community is able to reach remote areas and learners are able to access qualitative learning environment from anywhere and at any time. It is important that teachers or trainers should be made to adopt technology in their teaching styles to provide pedagogical and educational gains to the learners. Over the past decade, open and distance learning has become enveloping in all spheres of education. No doubt there are lots of opportunities for the people who desire to obtain a degree, diploma or a skill. There is need of time that open and distance learning should be provided in all types of education, so that teacher learners both can exploit its potential and avail the opportunities to enrich the development of human resources. Also, it's urgent need to develop the mechanism to safe and secure deal with the threat lying within open and distance learning. ODL may either assume a leadership role in the transformation of education or be left behind in swirl of rapidly changing world. For education to reap the full benefits of open and distance learning in development, it is essential that experts are able to effectively implement these new objectives of open and distance learning for development. Open and distance learning must provide the quality education to the needy person, including the vast agrarian community in India. During the last decades, the world has experienced the emergence of new forms of learning that advocates the extensive use of information and communication technologies, and the culture of learning is hybrid in nature that employs the judicious mixture of components of both face-to-face and online learning. This resulted in the birth of a new kind of learning system referred to as massive open online course. Now, let me move on to summarize today's session. Many individuals fail to realize the importance of achieving education through open and distance mode. Earning a degree is imperative because it broadens the range of job opportunities. It increases lifetime earnings and promotes a healthy society. In other words, earning a degree through open and distance mode is required. It is a way to secure a job in one's chosen field. In the present day, attending college is particularly expected of high school students. Thus, a degree through open and distance mode is significantly increasing one's chance of doing well in their adult life, and one with a degree through open and distance mode education can expect to earn considerably more money than one without. Many people that only received a high school diploma work at undesirable jobs such as fast food restaurants and grocery stores. To some may be the way to an improved lifestyle through a degree, open and distance mode. To others, it may simply be a small step in pursuit of their dreams. A degree through open and distance mode is the key that will open doors to more opportunities and allow a person to decide where he or she would like to work. Working is not as stressful when he or she enjoys his or her occupation. Many individuals will love to get paid to do a job that they take pleasure in doing. Also, a degree through open and distance mode has the capability of increasing one's lifetime earnings as compared to a preceding degree. There are many people who do not pursue a college education as a result. They make minimum wage. In India today, the quality of life of a person making minimum wage is very low compared to a graduate making well over that margin. Going beyond a bachelor and striving for a higher degree, such as master's, results in an even higher salary. The price of gas, groceries and other items are exponentially rising, and minimum wage is barely enough to meet the standard of daily living. Pursuing a degree through open and distance mode is imperative because it allows one to earn. Another reason is that one choosing to get a degree through distance mode is that it will help him or her give back to society. With a higher degree, one is hoping that maintaining a higher standard of living will be possible enough to maybe one day raise a family. Thank you for watching today's program. Hope today's session was enriching. Have a nice day.